You're listening to Come Talk with Aimee, where we bring sex out of the shadows and into real, everyday conversations. Today, we're diving into pleasure in the pause. Yes, we're talking sex, menopause, and reclaiming desire with none other than Tony-nominated actress and Broadway legend Brenda Braxton. She's bold, she's brilliant, and she's the founder of Pause by B. Braxton, a space that reminds us aging isn't the end of intimacy, it's a whole new invitation. Whether you're in the thick of hot flashes or just want to know what's coming, this one's for you. Let's talk about pleasure, power, and the beauty of the in-between. Come, join us, and let's turn up the heat. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Come Talk with Aimee. We are so excited to dive into the topic today of pleasure in the pause. Yes, that's right. Where are perimenopause and menopausal women? Raise your hands. We have an amazing guest today, Brenda
Thank
Braxton.
you.
Welcome, Brenda. Brenda Braxton is a native New Yorker and graduate of the High School for the Performing Arts. She was featured on Broadway in Smokey Joe's Cafe, where she was nominated for a Tony Award and the recipient of the NAACP Theater Award, Chicago's Jefferson Award, and Grammy for Best Cast Album. Yes. In 2003, she joined the Broadway cast of Chicago in the starring role of Velma Kelly opposite Bebe Neuwirth, Rita Wilson, and Usher. A few of her other Broadway credits include Jelly's Last Jam, Cats, Legs Diamond, and the original production of Dreamgirls. Her TV credits include Nurse Jackie, Smash, and partner Madeline on The Good Fight. In realizing the importance of giving back, she founded a not-for-profit organization called Leading Ladies Just for Teens. Seminars geared towards empowering girls to be the best they can. We love it. For her work as founder of LLJFT, she received the Dr. Martin Luther King Living the Dream Award given by New York's Governor Pataki, the Josephine Baker Award from the National Council of Negro Women, and the Community Service Award given by the National Association of Negro Business Women. In 2006, she added entrepreneur to her resume with the launching of B. Braxton Exceptional Grooming for Exceptional Men, a gentleman-only grooming parlor in Harlem, New York. The B. Braxton Men's Salon offered men's grooming services for the astute customer in a neighborhood which continues to evolve while maintaining its elegant charm. It's combined the atmosphere of a traditional gentleman's club, a barbershop, and spa, offering service such as hot towel, straight razor shaves, haircuts and styling, reflexology, massage, and skincare. Give the men what they need. In 2009, she was the only woman honored with the Men of Style Award given by Gillette Fusion. B. Braxton Salon hosted the Gillette Fusion Tour in New York City for the second year. B. Braxton provided grooming service to many Broadway shows in Motown, After Midnight, Pilot, Chicago, Tony Award winner Billy Porter from Kinky Boots. In 2015, Braxton launched Act 2, Now What? Seminars designed to give women over 50 that boost needed to get on with the new phase of their lives. It's an in-your-face sort of boot camp with life coaches, Broadway showgirls, who won't take no for an answer. No time for boo-hoo. Act 2, Now What? Was launched with 2 Afternoon of Possibilities, one in New York City and the second in Johannesburg, South Africa. Amazing. 2016, with 40 plus years in theater under her belt, she wrote her first book, The Little Black Book of Backstage Etiquette, to help new artists navigate through their life behind the scenes in theater. Brenda was waiting for a hot flash and received it in the form of her idea for Pause by B. Braxton. Pause by B. Braxton is the menopause box that gives women of a certain age the opportunity to sample products just for this time of their lives in the privacy of their home. Amazing. We are so excited.
Yes.
Brenda,
Thank you.
that is amazing. We just read your bio, which is such a wealth of a career and giving to community and building. Can you tell us about your journey from Broadway legend to entrepreneur?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like I've always been an entrepreneur, even from my earlier days of being on Broadway. I've always wanted to make a difference. I tried to do things that were outside of theater, yet still in theater. I had my Leading Ladies Just for Teens, which were seminars that I did for young girls. They would come to Smokey Joe's Cafe and we would sit and talk about dreams and setting goals. That they would see the show and then I would try and hook them up with an internship. One of the young ladies actually was able to do an internship with my vet because she thought in a perfect world, she would want to be a veterinarian. She had a 1 year internship with my vet. I've always had that kind of entrepreneurial spirit. It wasn't necessarily a switch from theater to entrepreneurship. It was just the melding of the two that I was able to do.
Yeah, can you speak a little bit more to that?
I had the Leading Ladies Just for Teens. And then in 2006, my then husband and I developed B. Braxton, Exceptional Grooming for Exceptional Men, which was a gentleman's grooming parlor here in Harlem. It was the first of its kind, very upscales. We did haircuts, cures, pedicures, chills, hot towel shaves for bald heads. It was a very, very upscale gentleman's grooming parlor. It was only for men. It was pretty successful. I think it was ahead of its time. My entrepreneurial
Yeah,
spirit often thinks of things that are ahead of its time.
you're a visionary. So why have you chosen to focus on menopause now?
It was very personal for me. When I turned 50, I realized that, oh my goodness, things are changing. Not only are they changing physically for me and mentally and spiritually, but business wise, theater wise. Once people know that you have turned a certain age, it's almost like a switch goes off in their head and they're like, you can't go for
Mm.
that anymore. And I was like, wait a minute, I think I look pretty good for my age. So why are you now just shutting me down, going up for certain things? Then starting menopause was also very challenging because while I had symptoms, I didn't have symptoms like most women have. And we'll talk about that later. I didn't have the hot flashes and this and that. I did develop problems sleeping and a bit of anxiety. But I
Mm.
realized that for the most part, you can talk yourself through it if it's not very, very heavy. Some women have it very, very heavy, but I didn't. I've been able to talk myself through it when I feel that big anxiety. Okay, Brenda, you know what this is. When I started going through it, I realized how much was lacking as far as information was concerned. At the
Mm.
time, I was doing a show on Norwegian Cruise Lines on the Norwegian Escape. I was the star singer in After Midnight. I was going through menopausal changes, and I often sat in my cabin and wondered, who else is going through this? Who can I talk to on my day off in port? Who's going through it? What are the issues? I realized there were a lot of myths because
Yes.
society didn't go in depth about menopause. Doctors didn't really do any research on it. So much of the time, even back when my mom was younger, her mom went through menopause and they just, thought she was crazy. And my great
Mhm.
grandmother was actually put away because of, I believe, menopausal symptoms that nobody wanted to deal with. It made me start thinking, experimenting with different items, with items for dryness and items for low libido, although I did not have a problem with that. Anyway, so I started doing research and I thought it would be a wonderful thing for women to have something in the privacy of their own home where they could
Mhm.
experiment with all of these different things that were coming out. Subscription boxes are all the rage.
Yep.
So I said, ooh, how about a subscription box where women can get a variety of items at home? They can experience them, try them out, or whatever. And that's how I came up with Pause by B. Braxton, because Pause is now a quarterly subscription box that women order and stay at home, whether it's something for a libido or something for hot flashes or night sweats or anxiety, not being able to sleep. They can deal with it at home and be able to read up on issues and then have
Mhm.
informed questions now also for their doctors, because doctors are
Yes.
just starting to understand menopause in a way that is
Mhm.
more of, how can I help you, as opposed to, oh, you're fine, it's just menopause. That's how I developed Pause by B. Braxton.
Amazing. Give the women what they need and want.
Yeah. And don't look down on them. It's not a disease. It's
Yes.
not a disease. It's a way of
Yeah.
life.
Yes. And when you were talking about your family or generations, I was thinking about how many women were put away or were called, labeled as, quote unquote crazy
Yes.
because of
Because they couldn't explain what was going on,
mhm,
you know?
and didn't have access to that information.
Exactly.
There are, I believe, 32 different symptoms of menopause. Like you mentioned, Not everybody experiences them. You didn't experience all of them. You had some, your friends had others, right? And so,
Yeah.
as a medical professional, I'm a nurse, we are not taught about menopause.
No, no.
Doctors who are often the people, providers who people go to for these services don't understand menopause. This advocacy, this community part is so huge because a lot of people are left wondering what in the hell is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
especially because I think probably maybe my generation, your generation, might be the last generation that really did not talk about it. Your mother didn't talk about
Yes.
it. Your grandmother didn't talk about it. The women coming behind us will have more information now. They'll be able to ask the right questions and not be put off. But my
Yes.
generation, oh my God, my mother still won't talk about it. I think my mother
Uh-huh.
virgin.
I love that we're being trailblazers in a way, and you especially with the work that you do in really advocating and getting the word out. I know for me, I'm going through perimenopause, and about 6, 7 months ago, all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, I just started waking up, and it was a very distinct difference. I've had insomnia before, and this is I'm wide awake
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
can't go back to sleep. What is going on with me?
Yep.
And
My
it's
sleep schedule,
perimenopause.
I had to talk to myself because I was getting so anxious about not being able to sleep. But since I don't have to, and it's unfortunate you have to rest so that you can do your work. I'm
Right.
tired. So my days are kind of leisure days. So I don't force myself to go to sleep if I'm not sleepy, which means that sometimes I'm up until 4 or 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll lay down until 10 and then get up and I feel refreshed. But not being able to sleep is the worst thing for any human being, whether you're going through perimenopause, menopause, anything. Not getting sleep for the human body is hard,
Absolutely.
and many women have that. They have the anxiety. There's also something I just realized that I get sad right before bedtime.
Mm,
I read about it, and it has to do with depression and anxiety and things like that. So there's so much that we deal with during perimenopause and menopause that's just coming to light, even. You know what I mean?
yes,
So, yeah.
absolutely. And as I mentioned, the medical community and women and people who are experiencing these symptoms are learning alongside one another. The community and the work that you're doing is so huge. I'm wondering, how can people, from your experience, your opinion, how can people find joy in the midst of menopause?
Oh boy. It's a couple of things. One is information. Information is key to know that you're not going crazy. That's number one.
Absolutely.
Number two, to know that you're not the only one going through this. And number three, once you figure out what your menopause symptoms are, then you can be very specific with your treatment. Whether
Mm,
you have to do hormone therapy, which is not like it used to be. There are such low doses now for hormone therapy that you don't have to suffer. You just don't have to suffer.
yes.
So that's why I say information is key. Learn what your body is going through. Don't apologize to anybody for what you are going through. You don't have to apologize.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm having a flash. No, if you have hot flashes, figure out what you need to do, take, be, experience, or whatever to make you more comfortable. If you have to carry a washcloth with you that's cool, that's been frozen, that's nice and cool, then do that. If you want to carry the Pause by B. Braxton Cucumber Mist,
Yes.
then do that. Find out what is best for your symptom. You don't have to suffer. You just don't.
Absolutely. If you are being gaslit by a provider and they're telling you just live with it or
All in your head.
it's all in your head, go find a different provider. Advocate for yourself. Go find somebody, um, knock on Brenda's door, her website. We're going to delve into all of the offerings that you have. We are here for each other. And yeah, you shouldn't be told by a provider to just, live with it or that it's all in your
Interesting.
head.
Because I think what I'll do on my website, I'm going to do some research. And even if it's just in my area for now, find the providers, find the holistic providers, and maybe have a list of those on my website too. So
Ooh.
I think that. For that, Amy.
I love that offering. Yes, ideas are flowing. Yes, yes, yes. How did pleasure change for you in menopause, if at all? I'm curious. What was your experience with pleasure?
My God. So, oh, pleasure change.
Let's
Number
get
one,
into it.
I know. Number one, when you don't have to worry about a period anymore. Of course, there are other issues now, but
Yeah.
when you don't have to worry about having a period, you don't have to worry about getting pregnant. You can be unapologetic about what pleases you and what doesn't. And that's another thing I think women of a seasoned age, which is what I call us,
Hmm.
should number one, figure out again what pleases you. How many women don't even know what pleases them, or they know what pleases them and they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to share it with their partner because they're
Right.
embarrassed. It was almost my whole entire life. I didn't get my first toy until I was 50 years old. That
Hmm.
women nowadays, they're like, "Oh, what? Oh no, girl, I got a whole bunch of them. I got sizes, I got the different shapes. Nowadays, you should not have to suffer, and you don't even have to have a partner. You can go on date night with yourself, which I tend to do sometimes.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Yes.
wine or whatever you want, some chocolate, some food, whatever, and sit in front of the TV if you want to, and then think about a pleasurable time, and then take yourself on a date. You know what I mean? You don't have to more. And you don't have to explain things to people if you don't want to. If you don't feel like leaving your house and you just want to chill in your house with all your stuff, you can do that. You are at an age where you don't have to make excuses for any way that you feel or think or be. You just don't have to. And so for me, that has been an interesting journey. And I'll tell you another thing. I had a lot of women tend to go through dryness and they call it
Hmm.
vaginal atrophy. Girl, when I first heard about vaginal atrophy, I was like, what? 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 No. You know, so you have to deal with that. But the dryness I used, which is in one of my pause subscription boxes, I used something, I don't know if we can say it on here, but it was for specifically that, and it was called membracin. And I used, and for me personally, I was like, oh, okay, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. And then I had a partner. We're not together anymore, which is not a bad thing, but we're not
Uh-huh.
together. He looked at me in such a loving, sexual kind of desirable way that it made me feel more comfortable with who I was. I didn't worry about my fupa that I had. I didn't really
Yeah.
into enjoying our time together, if you know what I mean.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yes. I love that there's such a freedom that comes with age, with stepping into this period of life and an empowerment. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your personal journey with us. In
I will
pleasure and stepping in the pause.
will also say for those who are actually married and or in a serious relationship, you have to share this with them too. You have to share what you are going through with.
Yes.
You have to be honest, and they have to be open enough to listen to you and try and figure it out. And I know some women go through so many changes, but being able to talk to your partner, your spouse, your lover, or whoever, and honestly say, look, I'm going through something right now. If you just hang in there, we can figure this out together. It can be a whole new life for us, a whole new kind of way of being for us. Having a partner and talking and communication is key. Talking to them,
Yes.
very important as well.
Yeah, I love that. It's so important to bring our partners in. We have the community of other people experiencing this and those that are alongside us, especially in the pleasure department,
Mhm.
and educating them about the changes in our body and the
Absolutely.
tools that we have that we can bring in to increase the pleasure journey for
And
everyone.
it really has nothing to do with them or their skills. Our bodies are changing. I know that my body is not the same. I'm talking about private parts are not the same. Where I thought
Yep.
it was the pleasure point. It's not anymore. We've got to be open and have these kinds of conversations with our spouses and partners and with each other, with other women, so that they
Yes.
know that this is a natural part of it too. Yes, you're changing in your girly area.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, absolutely.
Your girly area in your body, everything is changed, and it's not a
Yeah.
bad, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but you got to communicate. You have to communicate.
Communicate and explore your own body, help your partner explore your body to understand what those changes are.
Absolutely. And it's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was saying, we do all this stuff for our face. We have facials and we wash and cleanse and moisturize. We should be doing that with our girly area as well.
Yes.
When was the last time, like, ladies even looked at their girly area and said, "Oh, you need some attention just because," you know? And
Yeah.
we can get embarrassed about it. But this is, I don't want to say the final part of your life, but in a sense it is. This is the last part of your journey, in a sense, of being able to be sexual and physical and pretty, no matter what age you are. This is the mindset you have to have now, that, oh my God, I've got to find pleasure in every single thing that I'm doing right now. Whether I have a
Yes.
partner, don't have a partner, I've got to figure out what makes me comfortable and happy and sexy and fun. And I've got to figure that out now. It's no more
Yes.
quiet about it and shrink back and all that. Nope. Nope.
Yes. And owning that, knowing it's possible, and allowing yourself to revel in it. On that note, what else do you want people who are approaching perimenopause or menopause to know about pleasure in the pause?
It's all on you. It's all on you. You can't expect to all of a sudden know, oh, this is what she needs. No, it's all on you. Open your mouth and say, hey, can we talk about something? I'm going through some changes right now and I need to talk to you about it. Or if you're by yourself, go, okay, Brenda, what is going to make you feel good now? What is going to give you pleasure now? Whether it's Haagen-Dazs or whether it's
Yes.
or whether it's presenting yourself with a toy, which you can
Mm-hmm.
also find in your Pause by B. Braxton subscription box. We've got all that. Even if you sit with yourself, you go, I still want to have sex. I do. I still want to have that bomb chicka bomb bomb moment.
Mm-hmm.
I do that now. How can I be honest with myself, with my partner, with friends, find out what they're doing that makes them feel good? Ooh, that might make me feel good too. Oh, let's
Yeah.
talk. So, how did you do that? What did you use for that? You know what I mean?
Yes.
We
Yes.
be
All
open.
part of the
And
exploration and curiosity.
absolute, and it's so much
Yes.
fun. Oh, that's maybe another we can do, Amy. We can have a day of that somewhere where we
Yes.
just together and just talk about it the way we want to,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yes, yes. I actually have an idea about that. We'll
Yeah.
have to talk about it. Yes, we're creating here. I love it. I love it. I know we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but can you dive a little bit deeper for us? What was your inspiration to create Act Two Now What and also Pause by B. Braxton?
Act two, now what? Now, Act two, now what was interesting because in theater and being in show business, there are times when you make a lot of money and there are times when you have absolutely no money whatsoever. And I went through a really after my B. Braxton Exceptional Grooming for Exceptional Men, after I had to close that because I was getting divorced, I was having to sell I had a beautiful brownstone here in Harlem. I had to sell that. I just was kind of lost. I ended up moving 4 times in 4 years. And it was really, really hard. It just really made me start thinking about other women who were going through this. When I say my tribe, my friends are so amazing. They helped me, they let me stay at their homes. I have a friend whose apartment I'm still in now. I'm still here, and I'm not there, so you just stay there. And again, that's why I say your tribe is so important to you, or your kingdom. That's what I call it.
Yes.
Is so important to you. I was going through this period, and I had no money. I didn't know what my next job was going to be, and the universe, again, the universe, whether you believe in God, the universe, spirit, or whatever, it gives you what you need when you need it. If look, This is what I need. I'm lost right now. I need this. And sure enough, a job came through. A friend of mine called me because they were looking for the star singer. Norwegian Cruise Line was getting ready to launch a new ship, and it was called the Escape. And they were doing After Midnight, which had just closed on Broadway. And they
Hmm.
a star singer, and my name was in the mix. And long story short, I got the job. But right before that, I was again thinking about women who were going through this. I did a seminar, and it was called An Afternoon of Possibilities. What I wanted to do was to let women know that whether you're going through menopause or you're just going through, where do I go now? Now what? I'm in my act two.
Hmm.
I do. It was a day of, oh, let's talk about that. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can do that. You can do anything you want to do. So that was an afternoon of possibility.
Love it.
Fast forward, I get on the ship, going through still my menopause experience. I started thinking about the myths of menopause. I did a couple of funny videos about the myths of menopause. Then I realized women need, whether it's someplace to go on social media or they need something that allows them to try these different things. At the time I was
Mm.
Grayson, and do it in privacy, which is how I came up with Pause by B. Braxton subscription box. At first, I wanted it to be a monthly box. Then I realized that a lot of the things that we have to try, you've got to try it for at least 30 days. At
Yep.
least days in order for your body to get acclimated. Then I made it a quarterly box and haven't like really, really launched it because when you come up with these ideas, then you need to find the license and you need all of that. So I do have the website, and you can go and you can order a pause subscription box, a VIP subscription box. Then I had a friend who introduced me to someone who helps you get certified for airports.
Okay.
I was like, when I was traveling with the international company of Dream Girls and Chicago, I lived in an airport. I mean, literally airport. Now, with going through menopause and realizing when you're in an airport, it's very stressful. So, on top of having menopausal symptoms and all of that, you're stressed because you're in an airport and everything is moving,
Right.
right? So I decided to do a travel kit. I have to go back also. I did another afternoon of possibilities. I was supposed to be vacationing in South Africa with a friend of mine that
Okay.
convinced me to do an Act Two Now What seminar in South Africa, which was again amazing. Anyway, I had to mention
Love that.
I developed a travel case, two travel cases, one small and one large, so that women who are going through menopause, they have their own set of things that they need, whether it's the Pause Cucumber Mist or a moisturizer, because I notice that I get very dry when I travel. The air in airplanes is very dry. It includes a moisturizer. It also includes a self-heating eye mask so that you can cover your eyes and just be in your own little, I call it my own little spiritual condom. I just
Yeah.
put my
Amazing. I love it.
spiritual condom. It has a fan, your own rechargeable hand fan, which you have two of, and
Yeah.
just things that you might need just in your space, whether it's sitting in the airport waiting for a flight that has been canceled or whatever, or it's on the flight, you just want to be in your seat quietly with your own mask, your own, your own travel case. I'm developing a lot of things for us to be comfortable, number one, and then have information, number two. And then number three, have a community that we can talk to.
Yes, yes. This idea too of changing the script that this is a pamper. You get
Mm-hmm.
to pamper yourself. You're experiencing these symptoms. This is a part of life now. There are tools out there to help aid and really pamper your subscription box. And also, I have your travel kits. Like I have the big and a small one. They're stunning. They're beautiful. Just the case itself, it feels like a nice pamper. I've taken it on the train traveling out of state. I have a 7-year old. I take it to the park with me because it gets hot in the park and I'm like misting myself and I have my fan. I have another fan at work. I have the cucumber spray also at work. My daughter, she loves the fan. And because she'll need a little cool off. So she'll say, Mommy, can I use the fan after running from the swings or whatever she's playing in? And then We have found an alternative use for the cucumber spray because she one day in the park got a mosquito bite.
Oh, uh-huh.
And because it's a cooling spray, so we tried that on her mosquito bites, and now she gets a mosquito bite. Mommy, bring me my cooling spray. Huge fan of your products. And I love also the accessibility, the reach of bringing it into airports. I think that's huge, a time where it can be stressful and having like a camper moment for us. So huge, so huge.
Yeah. Yes.
Going back to your subscription box and these tools for pleasure, because I have noticed that in your subscription box, you have, I believe, 3 different intimacy products and they're like front and center. So, can you tell us what those intimacy products are and why you chose to kind of center and add intimacy products as part of the subscription box?
I have a vibrator, small vibrator, and I have pleasure and oil, like a coconut kind of oil. And again, I said I have the membracin, which helps with moisture. Because there's no reason we cannot still be sexual beings. There's no reason whatsoever. I don't care
Mhm.
what you look like, how big you are, small you are, fupa, no fupa, butt, no butt, whatever. Sex begins in your mind. In your
Yes.
mind. Again, I was talking to a friend of mine. So many people don't even realize that you can be with your partner, and if you have a connection with your partner, you don't even have to have penetration sometimes and still be pleased and feel sexy and feel.
Yeah.
I have a friend, I hate her, but she can literally have an orgasm without being touched. She can take herself
Okay.
to a place. We all hate her because that's bad. But that's what it's about. When you think about it,
Yes.
that's what it's about. Yes, it's wonderful to have someone, a partner, or whatever, but how you look has nothing to do with pleasing yourself and feeling sexy. It all starts with you in your mind. If you keep yourself, even like I wear cologne for myself, I have a scent that makes me just feel, ooh, so girly,
Yes.
And a lot of my friends make fun of me because I will do my nails just to go to the grocery store because it makes me feel good. When I go to pick
Love
something
it.
up, or I will make myself look good going to the gym, even. I will put on just a
Mhm.
up going to the gym. So if I happen to glance in the mirror, I can go, oh, you are cute.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I mean, it's so important to have these points of pleasure, whether it's sexual or non-sexual, and
Exactly.
mind, body, spirit, and all over. Like we can experience pleasure. It really is an aspect of playing and exploring yourself and your partner. So why limit ourselves to just one?
It can be fun learning new things.
Yes.
Learning new things that your partner can do for you, you can do for your partner. There's like a whole nother thing. Using a toy. Sometimes men egos get to them. I don't need to do that. Boo. Just try it. Just try. When mama's happy, everybody's happy.
Yes. I read somewhere that they were talking about bringing in a toy as they think of it almost as a threesome, which like
Yeah.
That's the number one. That's the number
Yeah.
one fantasy, common fantasy of people is threesome. So it's like
Yep.
we're
Yep.
bringing in. I actually love to say when you're going to the ego part of bringing in toys and other tools that can be so supportive. I'm also a huge fan of lube.
Yeah.
Everybody's lube is so huge. It's so amazing. And I think it's just one of those things, toys, lube, that are misunderstood, underutilized, that can really elevate one's pleasure. And going back to the ego part, I like to say that if you're building a tool shed, you're building a shed
Hmm.
in the backyard.
Hmm.
You're going to use your power tools.
Yeah.
You're not going to not use the power tools. You're going to bring your power tools. You're going to probably get some of the best ones. And why are you using them? Because it's more efficient, more effective, more powerful. It's going to do a cleaner job. It's pleasurable too, right? It makes the experience more pleasurable and enjoyable.
It makes things easier for you.
It makes things easier for you. When that shed is done, you're going to be proud and you're going to say, I built that shed. You're not going
Absolutely.
to say, damn it, I had to have tools to build the shed, right? You may
Mm-mm.
show off your tools like, this one brought me there
Yeah.
faster or whatever. You built that shed.
Yeah.
You gave your partner that orgasm. You gave your partner that pleasure. You
You know
brought the
how
tool
to.
in. You use the tool as part of that, but you're the one that facilitated that pleasure for your partner.
Absolutely. And something else too, if you are blessed enough to have a partner and you've been married for a long time, most of the time now the kids are gone, you might be empty nesters, run around that house naked, okay?
Yes.
And get back what made you, you know what I mean? Just experiment with stuff. And even though she might be going through menopause, sometimes if she's going through a hot flash, use that. Oh, baby, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yes, I love it.
yourself, you made her have a hot flash and now she's all just dripping.
My goodness. Yes. So hot. So hot. Amazing. Yes. So you have a toy, a vibrator in your box. You also have oil as well as
That's the
a
pearl.
vaginal moisturizer.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
Uh-huh. Going back to the airport stuff, I have also
Yes.
presented an idea called the Pause Lounge. And you kind of experienced the first idea that I had. We had a small party,
Mhm.
the Redefining Wellness weekend. And I think it went pretty well, didn't it?
It did. Tell our listeners more about the Pause Lounge and your vision
So,
for it.
the Pause Lounge, my vision for the Pause Lounge would be just like any other lounge at the airport, like the American Express Lounge or Delta Lounge. What we would do is it would be in three sections. The front of the lounge would be all retail. You could buy pause boxes, all of that, but other items as well that help women during perimenopause and menopause. Then we go through sliding doors. If any woman is traveling with family or whatever, it's still for her, a quiet place for her, but family can be there too. It's a very quiet spot, aromatherapy, things like that. Then you can go through another set of doors, which are membership only. It's for
Okay.
women of seasoned age where it's extremely quiet. You can have a cocktail, you can have coffee, a little nosh, you can sit in your own little pod and go through whatever you need to go through. It's just a space specifically for women of a seasoned age, and it will be the pause. So we have a little bit of something for everyone. No one is left out, but you also have that space for women who are going through all these changes, who might need just that extra little bit of quiet time before they get on the plane or meet the family in in the next city or
Yes,
whatever.
that wonderful reset and time for
Yeah,
yourself and pause.
a pause.
Pause for those of us that are in pause or pausing. I love it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did experience the pause lounge at Redefining Wellness. It was amazing. And I had this experience in the pause lounge one of the days where we were sitting and we were reflecting. We took some moments for ourselves. I had already started thinking about doing this podcast, but it was really in the pause lounge with the beautiful music, the candles, the beautiful pillows, and the sense of lavender. It smelled so beautiful, lavender and calming. It really like sprung and helped me decide I'm gonna do this. Really helped me get kind of a clear vision of it.
Awesome.
Um, and yeah, and really, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at this date. It was very inspirational. Where I experienced it was a community event with other women. And I thought that was really powerful going back to, your work on building community. I'm so excited to see this take shape for you. So, so exciting. On that note, what is currently on deck for Pause by B. Braxton? I know you just received a CDBE certification. Congrats. Tell everybody what that is.
So that
And tell us more.
Yes, that's a certification to have your products in concessions like Hudson News or any spas that might be in airports, things like that. I'm certified now in New York, New Jersey, LA, Washington, Chicago, Georgia, Philadelphia. I can be in all of those airports, and I'm heading to my very first convention, the AMAC convention, where all of the concessioners can meet the companies who actually get all of the items. I'm very excited about that. That's the end of this month. And
Amazing.
I just know that it's just going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. It's our time. And it's so needed. It is just so needed. The amount of women who are going through menopause right now, and the amount of women who are going through menopause and traveling right now,
Yes.
don't have a space that doesn't have a crying baby or doesn't have a,
Hmm.
right now in this journey. All of our senses are on fire, literally.
Yes.
So I think it's very, very important. And now that people are talking about it, people like Halle Berry and Oprah, and they're even talking about it more. Sherry Shepherd. I think this is something, especially the Pause Lounge and the Pause travel cases, it's time. By the time I get back from New Orleans, that's where the convention is, I'll have some more information for you and hopefully where we will have our first travel case. I'm so excited.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear. Good luck for the convention. Give the
Thank you.
people what they need. Also, as you were talking, I'm thinking about where are people in that time of life and what are they doing? A lot of people are traveling, whether
Yes.
it's to
Yes.
see family members, children that have gone away to college, grandkids, or they're going through retirement and they're like, I want to see the world, right? And so to be able to have something that supports the symptoms and experience that they're going through, that's so beautiful. The case, I wish I had mine here to show everyone. We'll definitely put pictures as part of our promotion with it. The case is so beautiful.
Now everything in the case is Pause by B. Braxton branded. You see all of the pause out. Pause. I'm so excited. That just happened like yesterday. I got my pause. Can you see it? My pause name tag for my luggage.
Yes,
Want all?
amazing. You are convention ready.
I
You are
am.
convention ready.
I
I love
am.
it. Everything that's inside the travel kit is so luscious. It's and just perfect for travel. If I was in an airport, I've traveled a lot. I used to work in international health and traveled quite a bit in that too. And I'm big into shopping in the airports. I just love it, whether it's window shopping. If I saw that, I would be grabbing it because it's
Awesome.
beautiful, it's practical,
Yeah.
and yeah, I need that. I want to pamper myself.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's small enough, even the larger case is small enough to be comfortable with. Has a
Yes.
handle to it to be comfortable with. So, yeah.
Yeah, the packaging is beautiful. The products inside of it, the face cream. There's the magnesium oil. In fact, I was using that last night before bed. The
Yes,
cream.
because a lot of women don't realize that magnesium is good for. I started getting leg cramps in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Good for that, and it's also good to help you sleep and relax. If you put it on the bottom of
Yes.
your feet, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm so, so excited. Before we come to completion, is there anything else that you want to talk to me about, tell our listeners about?
Well, just keep an eye out for. I want to do another afternoon of possibilities. Keep an eye out for that. Go to my website, www.pausebybbraxton.com. I'm also on social media. Instagram, pause by B Braxton _ and Facebook, you can just type in Brenda Braxton or pause by B Braxton.
And we'll
Mhm.
put all of your contact information, your website, your social medias in the show notes so that our
Awesome.
listeners can have access to that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Before we say goodbye, I do a little come to completion round where we ask some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yes. Oh,
Okay, it's no expectations, just a fun way to end. How do we close the orgasm gap?
ooh, close it. Have more.
Yes.
More. Experiment enough so that you know this is what gets it. This is what gets me there.
It. Bring in those toys like you were mentioning before,
The
you
toys.
know.
Experiment and learn what makes you happy.
Yeah, at different stages of life, like we're talking about too.
Yes.
Yes, amazing. Okay, so question number two. How do you become a receiver of pleasure?
Know what you like, know what works for you. Be okay with telling people, this is what makes me happy. This makes me feel good. And asking them, what can I do for you so that it goes both ways? Make suggestions, gently make suggestions because you're dealing with a gentleman. The male ego can be a little fragile. So, just easy. Let people know what you like, where it feels good, where it doesn't feel good. Because so much of the time, these guys have looked at porn, which porn is good too.
Hmm.
Let yourself be free to look at porn if you want to.
Right.
It's about what pleases you and makes you feel good. But So many of these guys, they look at porn and they start rubbing stuff, and it's like, don't do that.
Yeah. I am a fan of porn, but I say that porn is a production. And what we see in media, on movies, it's a production. You have literally a whole production camera crew there. You have a limited amount of time to get
Yeah.
the certain shots. They're from certain angles. It's not the
Mhm.
whole story. It's not the whole pleasure story. It's
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Bam, bam, bam is good sometimes too. Somebody comes up and
yeah.
that too. But yeah, take your time and communicate.
Yeah, and everybody is different, right? And likes different things. What goes well with one partner, or even the way one partner does something is different
Hmm.
than another partner, right? If you're
Absolutely.
like, getting into a different relationship, what you liked with one person maybe is not going to be the same with that other person. So it is that
And
exploration.
I also realized that I don't do everything with every partner. You know what I mean? It's like some people think, oh, well, if he's doing this the way this to me, and then he must have done it to someone else, or if she's doing this like this to me, she must have done it to someone. No, for me personally, no. I do not do everything to everyone. I have
Yes.
to feel way, I have to feel safe, depends on how long we've been together, stuff like that. Take that into consideration. And the fact now, though, that I feel freer because I don't have to worry about, I mean, we all should be using condoms, but if you're with someone long and you get to know their bodies and hopefully they get to know your body and you feel freer to try other things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So big, so huge. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So, what's your ultimate communication advice?
Ultimate, be honest. Be honest about how you feel, your thoughts, what you like, what you don't like. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. Find your community. Find the women that make you feel good and make you laugh and understand you, who you are. Find a partner who understands you, who you are. You don't have to make excuses for yourself in any way, shape, or form. You don't
Yes.
have feel like you're not enough. You are enough sitting where you are. And yes, you have your ups and downs, you have your ins and outs, you have your anxiety and all of that. Learn how to deal with that yourself. It's nobody else's responsibility. If you have anxiety, learn what gets you back to being at ease, whether it's
Yes.
hormone therapy, whether it's sitting and talking to yourself, whether it's meditation, whether it's reading a book, whether it's taking deep breaths, whether it's talking to a friend. Figure out what works for you because ultimately that's all you have is yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much power in owning your own shit and like owning your own pleasure and the journey of your life. And also, if you are with somebody, whether it's friendships, family, partners who are making you feel less than, you
They
can
got to
change.
go.
They got to go. Yeah, you can walk away.
And it's
You do not
okay.
have to tolerate it.
And even if they're family members, they got to
Yeah.
go, especially at this phase in your life. There's
Yes.
no reason to be abused mentally, physically, spiritually by anyone, even if it's your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your
Yeah.
sister, your brother. There's no reason to go through that now. This should be a joyous time in your life, but it's your responsibility to find where that joy is coming from and how to
Absolutely.
find that joy. It's up
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah.
huge, so huge. All right. So the last question is what has helped you unlock shame around sex?
Getting older because I grew up as a Catholic girl. There's still those things in your mind of, ooh, God is watching me do this.
Yep.
No, he's not. No, she's not. No, they're not. Girl, you better find your joy and your sex now because there's going to be a time when you can't. So you
Yeah.
find it now. And that's what I realized. And I realized again, when you find your tribe, I tell you, I've got some friends. We laugh so much about sex and about menopause and about how you feel.
Yes.
And it's so, so important. So as soon as you figure out your menopause journey or your perimenopause journey, find your tribe. And it might take a minute, but
Mm,
find your tribe because trust me, every single woman is going through this. Every woman is going through
yes.
this.
Yes.
Whether you've had to have, even friends of mine who have had hysterectomies, it's still
Mm,
hormonal change. So you've got to figure out, how do I live joyously with this? And you can.
yes.
Sometimes um, uh, folks are doing a disservice now by so much of the, oh, girl, I got hot flashes. I feel evil. I feel like there's so much of that now, as opposed to, okay, I am going through this. How can I find joy, happiness, complacency, comfort? How do I find that? And not
Yes.
all of this other hot flash and she's evil. I don't want sex. And there are a lot of us who do want sex, who do want intimacy, who do want to
Hmm.
have their spouse, their person on board with this, so we can continue to have joyous, joyful, happy lives. And
Yes.
so whatever that looks like for you, figure it out. It's up to you to figure it out and find that joy.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Such a powerful way to end.
Hmm.
And yeah, just such, wow. I love this. I'm so excited for people to hear your words, to continue to follow your journey. I'm so excited to see where next stage for Pause by B. Braxton. I want to speak to also, you were mentioning community and having that community and finding your tribe. And I'm telling our listeners, they need to go onto the Pause by B. Braxton website, because your community, it's so beautiful how you've displayed that community of women that, have gifted them the subscription box. And I love, that they made videos for you. And it's just really part of your mission and showing the community that you do build. I've loved watching those videos and watching your community show up for you and you showing up for them and providing them with tools in this stage of life. So cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening in. Thank you, Brenda Braxton, for being here. Like I always say, thank you for coming. Please come again, and come again. Ooh, if that wasn't a masterclass in grace, grit, and grown ass sensuality, I don't know what is. A huge thank you to Brenda Braxton for bringing all her fire, wisdom, and sparkle to the mic. Be sure to check out Pause by B. Braxton and give your body and your desires the reverence they deserve. And hey, if this episode stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, talk about it, and come find me on socials at Come Talk with Aimee. Let's keep the conversation juicy. Until next time, stay curious, stay turned on, and come talk with me.